Spa-Framcorchamps on board with Lewis Hamilton. And it's red lights. Hold the clutch, time the revs. And the lights go green. Go, 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 we are go! Everyone darts down to the first corner, looking for quick wins. Oh no! Hamilton has made contact with one of the McLarens. Luckily, nothing seems broken. And Lewis slots back between the McLarens and the Red Bulls. Now we all go flat out through Eau Rouge. Not when you are blocked by one of the McLarens. And this has probably ruined the chances of Lewis slipstreaming the McLaren down the Kemmel Straight. Will Lewis be able to use his late braking skills to catch up the McLarens into Les Combes? He's getting closer, with the McLarens battling and slowing each other down. No! The McLarens fighting are going to make it easy for Hamilton as they work down their way to Bruxelles. Will Lewis end up getting past both McLarens with one left, and they make contact? Lewis squeezes past the second McLaren. Next in line is Hamilton's Ferrari teammate, Charles Leclerc. This will be an awkward situation for the team as we go through Pouhon. Are the two teammates on the same strategy? That is the question. I think Lewis will take a more cautious approach. The slipstreaming effect and Hamilton's signature late braking will get the pair closer and closer, and the team will have to make a decision. Leclerc is also possibly being held up by Kimi, which is letting Lewis catch up so quickly. As we all fly through the campus corners, Leclerc, who is known to be familiar with iRacing, is gaining that extra rotation through the corners. We are going to see the art of late braking against the art of rotation during braking. I'm sure Ferrari will be on the radio to both drivers to keep it clean. The slipstreaming effect is getting stronger and stronger, and Lewis is getting closer and closer. Wow, close enough to late brake into the tight chicane corner. Oh no, will they all make it through? With Lewis on the outside, it's all about which Ferrari will get the better traction out the corner, and it's Lewis who gets by. With the teammate cleared, Kimi is next on the list, and La Source might be the perfect corner for Hamilton's legendary braking to gain an advantage. And it's worked! The Ferrari and Mercedes are side by side, but the youngster isn't giving up. They almost go into Eau Rouge, side by side. Oh dear, experience loses out to youth here. But as we all know, experience teaches you a trick or two, and Lewis darts past Kimi, leaving the youngster behind for dust. Next up the road is George, Hamilton's ex-teammate, who is no slouch. A driver that was hard to beat when both drivers were in the same Mercedes team. The gap is shrinking with every sector. Hamilton looks like a man on a mission, the Ferrari dancing underneath him, precise but aggressive. He's taking lines that you'd call risky in anyone else's hands. But this is Hamilton, 7-time world champion, and he knows Spa like the back of his hand. Russell's looking nervously in the mirrors now. The Mercedes just doesn't seem as planted through the fast corners. Hamilton's closing through every apex, dragging that Ferrari towards the gearbox of the Silver Arrow ahead. It's a battle between the present and future of British racing, and it's not over yet. The slipstreaming effect as we ride through Blanchimont is just ridiculous, and Lewis is getting closer and closer. The question is, how hard will George defend into the tight chicane corner? As we have seen, that's Lewis's party trick this race. This slipstreaming and late braking will allow Lewis to dart up the inside. And it's happened! Will they survive? Oh dear, there's contact. The front and rear touch, and both seem to be intact. George seems to have bad traction out of the corner and a bit of a wobble on the curb, which means Lewis is about to fly by. Will they bang heads again when braking into La Source? George seems to have fallen behind, and Lewis seems in the clear as there is no lunge on the inside. Next up, far ahead is Supermax Verstappen, an old rival. Remember, this isn't just a rivalry. This is a collision of eras, of mindsets, of legacies in the making, and legacies already written in gold. Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen, two titans born from different generations with the same unrelenting hunger to dominate. It all came to a head in 2021. That season wasn't racing, that was war. 22 rounds of precision, power and controversy. Bahrain, the first blow. Verstappen passes Hamilton, but is forced to give the place back. The message was clear. This wouldn't be clean. This wouldn't be easy. They touched wheels in Imola, came millimetres from disaster in Spain, and then Silverstone, Copse Corner. Verstappen goes flying into the barriers at 51 G's, red flags, chaos. Hamilton penalised, but he comes back to win, not just the race, but to reignite the title fight in front of a roaring home crowd. You could feel the tension, feel history twisting. Then there was Monza, roles reversed. Verstappen launches his car over Hamilton's in a crash that looked like it came from a video game. His rear tyre grazing Lewis's helmet. Neither yielded, neither ever does. In Saudi Arabia, they nearly collided half a dozen times. DRS games, brake tests, track limits, penalties, and yet they were still equal on points going into Abu Dhabi. The finale, winner takes all. We all remember that night. The race of a lifetime, and an ending that shook Formula One to its core. Hamilton, flawless all race, leading comfortably until that late safety car. Verstappen, with fresher tyres, made the pass on the final lap. One of the most controversial calls in F1 history. And Hamilton, no protests, no shouting, just dignity, class. That's who he is. That's why he's a legend. But the story didn't end there, because Lewis didn't walk away. He came back, eyes steely, voice calm, and with a fire still burning. He knows what it means to fight, to lose unfairly, to rise again. And now, with Ferrari red beneath him, with a team hungry for rebirth, he's not just racing Max, he's chasing destiny. This isn't about revenge, this is about redemption, about proving that greatness isn't just speed, it's resilience, intelligence, grace under pressure. Hamilton versus Verstappen is more than just racing. It's a duel of philosophies, of risk versus control, youthful audacity versus seasoned genius. And as long as they share a track, every lap is a chapter in the greatest rivalry of modern Formula One. And you can bet we haven't seen the final chapter yet. As Lewis slowly catches Max up, the slipstream is punching a hole through the air, which is making Lewis faster and faster. Max has to move left, right, left to defend. Hopefully, these two will not collide even with their history. Sending it up the chicane trick isn't going to work with the 4 times world champion, even when there is a 7 times world champion behind the wheel. Getting into the slipstream full of sauce might work with a bit of late braking, and it does. Lewis is through. The question is now, can Max fight back, or can Lewis now drive away with the clear air? Max already seems to be falling behind. This could be Hamilton's first race win in a Ferrari with only 1 lap to go. But if anyone can make a late attack and send it for a win, it's Max. Lewis Hamilton in the scarlet red of Ferrari, leading the charge. Can you believe it? After years of chasing that elusive 8th title, after switching teams, after all the doubters, this could be the moment that rewrites history. Max Verstappen is right on his tail, the Red Bull relentless, the Dutch fans on their feet. But Hamilton, the maestro of wet weather, of pressure, of legacy, is holding steady. This isn't just about winning a race. This is about redemption, about proving that age is just a number, that fire in the heart beats data in the machine. Ferrari hasn't tasted victory here in over a decade. And now, led by the man many called past his prime, they are about to conquer Spa. This is the comeback of a generation. From Silverstone to Spa, from Mercedes to Maranello. Hamilton roars again, not just as a champion, but as a legend reborn. Max is trying his best to get into slipstream, but is now too far behind. Lewis only needs to keep the car on the track and not lose it in the last few corners. This might not be an 8th title this season, and it might not be a Ferrari win at Monza, but a Ferrari win at Spa is so special. Oh no! Has he locked up? Oh no! Luckily, it seems Max is too far behind, and Lewis is going to make the corner. And yes, it's a win for Lewis Hamilton at Spa-Francorchamps, a legendary win.